Most people fail not because they aim too high and miss, but because they aim too low and hit. Today, I will show you how one small dream can trap you, but one big thought can change your entire world. Listen closely. In a small, quiet village near the deep blue ocean, there lived a young man named Leo. Leo was a very hard worker. Every morning, before the golden sun came up, he took his small wooden boat out to the sea to catch fish. He was an honest man, but he was very poor. He lived in a tiny cold hut, and some days he did not even have enough food to eat for himself. Leo had a friend named Thomas. Thomas was the richest man in the entire village. He owned 10 large ships and lived in a beautiful house made of white stone with a garden full of flowers. One sunny afternoon, Leo sat with Thomas by the water, watching the waves. Leo looked at his old torn clothes and then looked at Thomas's fine silk shirt. He asked, Thomas, we grew up in the same village. We went to the same school. We played together as children. Why are you so successful while I am still struggling to catch enough fish for one simple meal? Thomas smiled kindly and looked at the horizon. Leo, the difference is not in our hands or our luck. The difference is in our minds. You think about today's dinner. I think about building an empire for the next generation. Leo did not understand. He thought Thomas was just lucky. So Thomas decided to tell him a story to explain the secret. Thomas said, imagine there is a fisherman named Sam. Sam goes to the river every single day with his net. One day, a traveler from a distant land watches Sam from behind a tree. The traveler notices something very strange. Whenever Sam catches a big, beautiful, and heavy fish, he looks disappointed. He unhooks the fish and throws it back into the water. But whenever he catches a tiny, small, and thin fish, he puts it in his basket and looks very happy. The traveler is confused. He walks up to Sam and asks, Sir, why are you doing this? Everyone in the world wants the big fish because they have more meat. But you keep only the small ones. Why? Sam looks at the traveler and sighs heavily. It is simple, Sam says. I only have a very small frying pan at home. A big fish will not fit in my pan, so I don't even try to keep them. I only want what fits. Leo laughed loudly when he heard this. That is a silly story, Thomas. That man is a fool. Why didn't Sam just buy a bigger frying pan or cut the fish into pieces? Thomas looked Leo directly in the eyes, and his face became serious. Exactly, Leo. But most people in this world are exactly like Sam. Their frying pan is their mind. They have big opportunities coming their way every single day. They see big fish, big ideas, big jobs, big dreams, and big risks. But they throw them away immediately because they think, I'm not smart enough for this. Or, this is too big for a person born in a small village like me. They stay poor and small because they choose to keep their small frying pan of thoughts. Leo became silent. He realized he was doing the same thing every day. He only caught enough fish to sell for a few coins because he was afraid of dreaming of a bigger market. He never thought about buying a second boat. He never thought about hiring workers to help him. He was afraid of the big fish of life. Thomas continued his lesson. Thinking big is not about having money in your pocket right now. It is about having the courage to want more from life. When you think big, your brain starts looking for ways to grow. It starts asking questions. But when you think small, your brain stays asleep and never finds a way out of the hut. That night, Leo could not sleep. He laid on his hard bed and looked at the roof of his small hut. He looked at his old, weak fishing net in the corner. He decided right then, I'm going to throw away my small frying pan today. The next day, Leo didn't just go out to fish for himself. He started talking to the other small fishermen on the beach. He said, "Friends, if we all work together and put our fish in one big crate, we can rent a cart and sell them to the big city for a much higher price than what we get here." At first, the others were afraid. They said, "That is too much work. What if the cart breaks? What if the city people don't buy from us?" But Leo didn't stop. He thought big. He spent his nights learning how the big city markets worked. He saved every extra penny he earned. Instead of buying a better shirt for himself, he bought a better, stronger net. Within 1 year, Leo didn't just have a small boat. He had a small team of 3 men. 5 years later, Leo was no longer the poor fisherman of the village. He was the man who provided fish for the entire region. He had built a school for the village children so they could learn to read. And he built a clean water system for everyone. He didn't just change his own life. He changed the lives of everyone around him. He realized that the big fish of life, success, happiness, and wealth, are always waiting for those who are ready to catch them. The only thing that stops a person is the size of their pan, the size of their thoughts. If you tell yourself you can only do a simple, low-paying job, you will only ever do that. But if you tell yourself you can lead, you can create, and you can grow, your mind will eventually find the path to that goal. Do not be afraid of big dreams. A big dream might feel scary at first, but living a small, limited life is much scarier in the end. A big dream gives you energy and hope, but a small thought makes you tired and hopeless. The moral of the story is that the size of your success is limited only by the size of your thinking. If you want to change your life, you must first change the size of your dreams. Throw away your small frying pan and get ready for the big fish of the world.